Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena I'm going to show you the deck I'm going to play for my Fandom Legends tournament. The Fandom Legends field is stacked with more pros and MPL players that I deeply respect than I've seen in some time. If I win a single match, I'll be a happy camper. And I'm bringing this Esper Hero build from Standard 2020. Standard 2020 will be the format, which is exciting on its own, and a lot of people are wondering, I even made a video, is Esper bad? And I think Esper Control is pretty bad, but I think that Esper Hero is pretty good. It has a few bad matchups. You do not want to play against Simic Flash, this frilled Mystic card over here. That's a tough matchup. It's not unwinnable though. What determines this matchup is whether or not they run out of counter spells by turn 5, 6, something like that. If you get to resolve an Enter the God Eternals or a Teferi into an Oath of Kaya or into a Mortify, or you get to resolve a Bolas's Citadel, you should win that game. However, if you get to turn like 5, 6, and they still hit these key cards with counter spells, you'll probably lose. The other bad thing that can happen is if they counter exactly your Bolas's Citadel or you don't have it and you flood out. That happens sometimes too, and it's the worst feeling when it does. Then another tough matchup for the deck is gates, and I do expect a good amount of gate style decks here and there. So the greedy ramp over the top, do a million things, draw a million cards, Golos, all that stuff. We built a sideboard specifically to address that. Now, I play best of one. I've been playing ranked ladder. We're going for Mythic today with this deck, which is one of the reasons I picked it. You probably shouldn't pick a deck for a big tournament based on ladder performance, but I honestly was struggling. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to play. I threw this together, and the curve is simply, I want to curve out, just hitting like a play that gains life starting on turn 3 all the way through turn 5, and then drop Bolas's Citadel and play a million cards. So the ideal game starts with Thought Erasure or Hero, then you play Oath of Kaya, then you play Guard Mage or Bellhaunt, then you play Enter the God Eternals. So you've gained like 10 life and totally screwed up the opponent's game plan if they have any kind of aggro plan. And then you drop Bolas's Citadel and play your deck. And it's very fun. It's very excellent. I know it looks like another Esper Hero deck, but really I think it should be called Esper Citadel because it really revolves around this card. And now that the Explorer package is gone from green-black, I think this is the best shell for the Citadel deck. It was a top-down design where I really wanted to make Citadel the best it could be. In the mana base, I have Tranquil Coves and Dismal Backwaters and Temple of Silence. 10 enters the battlefield tap lands. I do not enjoy playing these. It is very frustrating in the format, Wizards, but I think that 10 is the max. I think that's where you stop playing tap lands. And you will have to shock for these lands most of the time when you play them. And another good thing about all the life gain in this deck is it doesn't often kill you to shock yourself to play your lands. You'll be okay. You get to play your lands untapped because there's so much life gain built into your other cards. A Deputy of Detention is here to help clean up some zombie armies and some randos from Field of the Dead. Then the Mortify and the Despark are just some filler. Kill a Wilderness Reclamation, exile a Nissa, exile another Bolas's Citadel, things like that. Sideboard, which we're not going to be playing today. We're still playing best of one because that's the only way to play ranked Standard 2020. But the sideboard I took to the event is very throw it together. I'm going to try to show, at least some of my viewers, that sideboarding can be simplified for those of you who are intimidated by getting into best of 3. I know a lot of people are going to leave comments on this video. They leave comments on every video about sideboarded Magic is the only true Magic and you have to get good at sideboarding to get good at Magic. I'm going to say they're not wrong, but they do come about it in a way that makes it feel as if you are not good enough. Like it comes off very smug and elitist. And I'm going to try to at least shine a light on the fact that sideboarding doesn't have to be complicated from the start. My sideboard's very straightforward. If a greedy deck shows up with a whole bunch of gates and ramp, I'm going to take out my cheap creature removal spells like Tyrant Scorn, and I'm going to sideboard in 4 Unmoored Egos and 3 Ashioks and totally mess them up. If they use black Planeswalkers, I'm going to bring in Devout Decree. And red Planeswalkers. If they use green and white Planeswalkers, I'm going to bring in Noxious Grasp. What I'm going to replace in any matchup that I think I can win this long game with Unmoored Ego and Ashiok is I'm going to take out pretty much all of my creatures and fully convert into a mill deck. Yeah, a turbo mill deck with Citadel, but a mill deck. So it's a hidden mill deck. I can take out my heroes and my Bell Haunts, maybe my Enter the God Eternals if my opponent doesn't have good targets for them, my Deputy of Detention, and bring in all the mill and the removal spells that make sense. So it's a very straightforward, sort of transformational sideboard. Is it the perfect sideboard plan that the elitists will say doesn't explore the fine, careful, decent, intrinsic beauty of sideboarding? No, it's not that. But we have to start somewhere. And I'm from the 90s. Back in the 90s, we didn't have this one of, two of sideboarding. Sideboard guides weren't a thing. We just crammed 4 of the best color hosers, 4 Circle of Protection red into our sideboard and called it a day. 4 Circle of Protection black. Just get them. All right, I've definitely talked enough. Let's go see if we can get that Mythic and show off the deck I'm going to play in Fandom Legends. This hand has a Thought Erasure, nothing, God Eternals. But we'll try that anyway, because God Eternals can stabilize on its own, and we only need to draw a few crucial cards along the way to make it happen. Being on the draw is hard. It always is. What are we doing? Our opponent has chosen the nonsense path. Let's see what they're up to. We've got blue, black, red, white in the first 2 lands. Please put something in the graveyard. I want to know what's going on. I guess I'll find out next turn with Thought Erasure. The opponent kept on top. They might be trying to hide something from my Thought Erasure. I really have no idea what they're about to play. Maybe it's like a Chromatic Lantern. But I'll just save my Thought Erasure until next turn. And I'll save myself 2 life in the process. What you got? 2 life. Saheeli. Okay. Let's get in your hand. So we've got 5 color Planeswalkers. We've got Sarkhan and Bolas. We've got a Lava Coil that won't do them much good, and a Bedevil. We could just hope they miss land and take the Discovery, or we could take the Sarkhan or the Bolas to try to give ourselves a better chance. So this is a really bad matchup for us. There's just no question. There's no getting around it. We're probably going to get smoked. So I think I've got to take the narrow line, which is that our opponent misses their land drops from now on. But this is a greedy Planeswalker deck. We don't have much interaction for those. We pretty much have to hope to go absolutely crazy with our Citadel before they get to do their Planeswalker things. So every missed land drop is hope. Come on. Come on. Come on. I mean, yeah, that's obnoxious. Our opponent probably uses it to draw a card right away. Probably? Alright. Well, with the Teferi out, we can't even Tyrant Scorn the Planeswalker creatures that Sarkhan would make, which is another big problem. So we've just got to do this. Holy cow, none of those were land. Watch, our opponent will rip the land right here because of the milling. Or will they? No! No! Well, the opponent spent their turn lava coiling. They're trying to stabilize the board before they completely abuse us. Oh my god. Meet the super friends. Can't beat this to save my life. Narset whiffed. That's something. Well, our opponent has Bedevil, so if we go for this Citadel, it probably fizzles badly, but we could hit a Thought Erasure, could take the Bedevil. Opponent will find another one with Narset probably, and remember Narset also keeps us from drawing cards. The opponent was really afraid of the last Enter the God Eternals. Let's find out if they're so afraid of this one that they use the Bedevil on it. Try to find that narrow line that might somehow almost win.
Oh, I've done the hero thing.
I have just the trick for this.
What do you got, Narset? Show me this trick you have. Legion's End. That's perfect. That is perfect. Ugh. This isn't gonna get better. It's only gonna get more painful. And if we play this, it'll be right into a Bedevil. So, nah, I'm not willing. Not interested. Alright, Erasure, Oath, Deputy, all the things. Come on, show me a little creature mid-range deck. Thing that we haven't been able to play against so far. We will need triple black for the Citadel, might be tough. We have all shock lands, could be painful. Is it Guildgate? Alright. Is it a Guildgate? Why, yes it is. Ouch. Get that out of here. Get that card out of here. Let's keep the other black. All we want to do here is curve into Citadel, so having triple black, even though they're all shock lands, we'll take it. Oh, I wonder if they're going to Growth Spiral. What you think? It is. It is a Growth Spiral. Now, let's see what the top of the deck does for our opponent. Will they find another Guild Summit? Will they find something else assertive to cause us pain? Temple up. I'll take that. Hopefully they don't resolve something epic this turn so we can Thought Erase and then play the Citadel. Land. Say go. Yeah. Show me that grip. I guess I'll take the Angel. The Gates Ablaze, I'm not really concerned about. This is more proactive. Actually, I don't know. I kind of want them to have the Angel. They spend their whole turn playing it, and when they play it, it gives me a target for Enter the God Eternals. I'll take the Ablaze. We'll see how much regret I have in the future. Guard Mage is a perfectly fine keep. It's a spell. It draws a card. It keeps our life total high. It makes Citadel hum. And let's, well, do we play this first? Let's get the Citadel cooking. Sooner the better. We might, because we will hit a lot of lands as we go, but the sooner, oh no! Are you joking? Right now. No. They top decked that. They top decked that. Oh my god. What more can I say? I'm taking it back now, y'all. It's too bad. I needed this deputy to fight these zombies, but some things are about principle. It's not about... Oh, that Teferi would have been perfect to get it back to.
Stand by and watch.
But sometimes it's about principle, my friends. Oh, wish I'd done it to myself. Alright, get out. Do we bounce the Golos so it can't activate? The opponent doesn't have a black source. No, they do not. Could bounce my own Oath of Kaya. Wait, where are you going? Oh, but what if you top decked an Agent of Treachery and we did it all over again? I can't believe that. Why did they scoop? All they had to do was draw another Agent of Treachery or a red gate and activate their Golos into an Agent of Treachery. What just happened? What a game. Oh my lord. No white source. Do we keep a hand like this just hoping to draw one when we don't have early plays anyway? No, I'm going to mulligan it. There's a white source. Pretty good grip. What do we bottom? The Citadel's the farthest away from being played, but it's also the most important card in our deck. But I think we can gamble on drawing another. I don't know what we're playing against. The opponent's got a Karn and no sleeves. No hints, so. We'll see you later, I hope. Or one of your brothers and sisters. Temple of Mystery, scry to the top. 1 life, please. Are we dealing with ramp, or are we dealing with flash? Let's just have mana available. See what happens. Wow, that instant passed. Probably not flash, but who knows? So I like just sitting back and doing pretty much nothing here while I get an idea of what the heck my opponent is. I can usually take the long game and it'll be okay. I have a lot. I'm a deck full of answers. Their deck might be some kind of deck full of ramp. Is this where we go for a hero? If it gets mysticked, we don't. Actually, yeah, let's wait with the Time Raveler. It doesn't feel like I'm playing against the flash deck though, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Let's play around Quench by paying 2 life, just in case. Then next turn, we're probably going to pay 2 life, play the hero and the Teferi. Nightpack Ambusher. How to deal. If we bounce this to hand, but if we let it be, I think the best thing I can do is get my opponent to play Counterspell on their own turn. So I'm going to let them untap and then cast the Scorn. If they counter it, then they're tapped out for the following turn where I can play Teferi and hero, and the opponent doesn't get the wolf. I meant to do that before the opponent drew their card, but the game had other ideas. I wanted them to have to make the decision before having the information of what their draw step would be. Come on, defend it with a counterspell. Do it. Okay. Gives me a little space next turn. Maybe the opponent has double negate. Maybe they have Quench. Maybe they have Sinister Sabotage. All those are very bad for me, obviously. Right. Which first? This plays around Quench, but runs into Sabotage, which is certainly a 4 of, and Quench is not always a 4 of. So I'm not going to play around Quench, and I am going to play around Sabotage. Plus, we can always follow up with an Oath of Kaya if the opponent lets this resolve. And there we go. Boink. It's coming down again next turn, so we have to draw an answer. Enter the God Eternals would be the nuts. Come on, Enter the God Eternals. Come on. Disappointing.
Let's try this.
Bellhaunt? Yes. So we play Bellhaunt. Bellhaunt's probably chump blocking. If the opponent passes the turn just to make a token, I guess we're okay with that. Having Teferi in play is so important in the game. We got an unsummon out of the opponent's hand. Oh my god, no, not the Flood. Flooding against the Flash deck is the worst, because it's the deck that you know you can beat if the game goes long, unless you just draw land. If you just draw land, then it just feels so bad, because you know you probably should have won that game. Okay, double ambusher. Now Enter the God Eternals doesn't work. And as you see, Flood, Flood, Flood. Yeah, now I have nothing to really bring me back. A Mortify is the only spot removal, so this is game, and I do not feel any need to play it out. We lost the key turns by drawing about 5 lands in a row. If I had that Citadel back from the mulligan, I think we would have won. We can try it. We're on the draw, and we're all shock lands, and we're slow. Not a play till turn 3. But there's enough life gain and enough action here that I think we can come back from just about anything. Our opponent opens on the caves. They've got the Flexen sleeves, and their Priest of the Forgotten Gods is online. I like my Rakdos matchup. I hope to play against Rakdos a lot. The more Rakdos I play, the better usually. Now I say that, maybe we'll get smoked for it. But gonna try to put my money where my mouth is. So I like leading with the Oath of Kaya. That way it's down if the opponent wants to attack my Time Raveler. Let's go ahead and pick off the Butcher before it does any more harm. Bouncing a haste creature with Teferi is never very good anyway. Here's an Initiate. Here's a Footlight Fiend. Does the opponent sacrifice them? Or does the opponent attack? Looks like they're thinking about sacrifice. They want that card. They get a trigger from the Fiend to deal a damage. They get an amassed extra critter from the Grim Initiate. Let's see what they can do with their 2 mana. Perhaps a Mayhem Devil, a Knight of the Ebon Legion, and a Knight of the Ebon Legion. Well, that's a lot of cards on the battlefield. I could play Teferi here to bounce the Thief, but these creatures will basically crash in. But I do want my opponent's mana to be busy. And right now, they don't really want to sack a Knight of the Ebon Legion. If I play the Elite Vanguard into it, losing the Elite Vanguard to the Priest just feels terrible, though. Maybe the right play is to bounce the Oath of Kaya. But the next 2 turns are going to be Enter the God Eternals. What we want to make sure is that the opponent doesn't leave mana up to protect their Knight of the Ebon Legion from Enter the God Eternals. So what's the right way to do that? I think it's to bounce the Priest so that they don't get the mana boost from the Priest and have an option to leave their mana up.
I'm known for my excellent timing. No, I am not making this up as I go.
And then we'll play Tranquil Cove, because it always enters the battlefield tapped and gain a life. If the opponent attacks our Teferi, we get an activation from Oath of Kaya to keep our life total nice and tasty. And then we're looking for that Citadel off the top. Oh, that's annoying.
I've learned a bunch of new burn spells to try out. Say hi to my fiery friends.
Fortunately, though, it's going to be 2 turns before the Priest can help the Chandra. Yay, the opponent knows how to make the attack all attack 1 thing work without too much clicking. I often forget that myself, but I do appreciate it when I see it. Let's begin to enter the God Eternals, and dear deck, I've drawn enough land now. Can we stop, please? Let's see, there are no spells down here, and they have a Chandra, so let's mill ourselves. Yay, not a Citadel. Priest returns. The opponent didn't attack first with the Knight, which I find kind of curious. Let's trim that damage. If we attack the Chandra here, I'm guessing our opponent will block with something. So therefore, it doesn't really matter whether we have an 8/8 or a 4/4. And I'd almost rather trade the 4/4 than have the 8/8 later. So... Or then, I'd rather have 2 4/4s than 1 8/8, is what I mean to say. So let's see if we get a block. There it is. All right, Priest, you gotta go. You just gotta go. It's too bad we haven't quite dealt with the Knight yet. Oh, I milled the opponent. Habits. Not punished. No spells. Habits grabbed me. Just want to mill. Just want to mill that deck. What can I say? I've got a problem. Just want to mill. Okay. Scooping them up. Yeah, that's the matchup I think we want the most of the popular decks. And since the finals of Twitch Rivals was a Rakdos mirror, I'm hoping more people are playing the Rakdos deck. We got paired all the way up to Mythic. I've been paired up to Mythic when I was in Diamond 4. Kind of weird. Anyway, will we draw a white source? I'm going to try to, because otherwise our hand is fantastic. And if we can somehow find 2 white sources, we're in great shape. Or at least we should be. An Enter the God Eternals would feel nice too. Roll Guildgate right off the bat. Alright, Thought Erasure, you're gonna have to fix my mana too, as if you didn't do enough. 2 tap lands. Appreciate the slow start, opponent. And we've got 2 Gates Ablaze, a Hydroid Crassus, a Circuitous Root. I mean, yeah, take the mana fixing. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. This might be one of those games where they scoop if they don't draw a land and they see the second thought erasure. Hey, they drew a land. And it was a good one for them, too. All right. Then I'm coming for the Krasis. No, my opponent doesn't have blue yet. They'd have to draw an untapped blue source. No. Let's get the clock moving. We could play Hero. The opponent could play Gates Ablaze. I guess that takes their turn, though. Well, I'm not going to get the Gates Ablaze out of their hands easily. I may as well do it. We'll at least occupy them for another turn while I get ready to Thought Erase their Hydroid Krasis. There we go. Opponent did find land number 4. Alright, let's see that top card, shall we? This is a very scary card. I have a lot of answers to a Hydroid Krasis. I don't have many answers to a Chandra. But I think we'll just try to get out in front of this Chandra. It's still at least 2 turns away, assuming the opponent can draw perfectly. We definitely keep the temple. They're drawing perfectly. Stop it! Stop it. Alright, the other land is nice. We're definitely plussing for loyalty here.
This isn't a fight. I've got it.
Now, does the opponent kill the Teferi? No. They're going straight to Emblem Town. I just can't. I can't even. Alright. Let's see what they do about this. If they minus to kill it, it's almost Oath of Kaya range. We need to draw land.
That's more like it.
We also have a ton of life gain, which is one reason I don't fear the emblems too much. But we'll see how the opponent wants to play it.
Let's get toasty.
You could say my opponent ran hot. Get it? Hot. Because Chandra emblems are hot. Alright. The opponent's not gonna minus this Chandra, I don't think. I think they're gonna try to straight beat me. What to do? Let's see what we draw with you. It's not looking good. We stalled on land. Alright.
You're playing with fire here.
The opponent ticks it down to 8, or it goes up to 9. We're almost there. We just need to draw the frickin' land to double Oath of Kaya, and we've got this. There's a ram, though. We're gonna have to mortify that or bounce it. There's trips. Ow. Dismal Backwater is the land that hath... the land that was promised. Get out. Stay out. Hit. We're gonna end up with a mere 4 emblems to cope with in our life versus a life gain deck. Our whole deck is designed to gain a lot of life for the Citadel. No! Alright, we're still gonna get there on Chandra at least. Alright. Hit.
You're playing with fire here.
Oath of Kaya. Target the Chandra. Down you go. Teferi, bounce Oath of Kaya. If we draw a land, we can play the Elite Guard Mage or the Bell Haunt. And if we don't, we just go face and try to keep this life total really high. Really high. Can we get much higher? So high. What do you got? Don't play it. Oh my god. This opponent is making me sick to my stomach. So, Tyrant Scorn can blow you up. Bell Haunt can make the opponent discard another card. That's our 6 mana for the turn. Hope you enjoy it. Actually, make the opponent make the Bell Haunt choice first. Might determine what they do. If they drew, by the way, if they drew another, if their last card after this is Hydroid Krasis, just kill me now. I know, we could be having Citadel time. Right now I can use the cards I have to keep the board stabilized. We will play Citadel if we don't need to stabilize a board. If our opponent ever gets us a minute, a hot minute. And then we've got to figure out how to navigate these emblems and max out on Citadel. Where are you going? I was busy tearing you apart. Come back. It's a really slow hand. Like, unnervingly slow. And I should probably mulligan it. Better. Let's drop the Bell Haunt and keep the Guard Mage and still try, despite only having 2 lands, curving out into the Citadel. Pretty much, if there's a way that we can help hit a land drop on each turn, we'll take it. Whatever presents itself as. A Thought Erasure, just get that Surveil, a Scry land. Everything's about hitting them land drops. Paradise Druid. Nice. Here's a hero. Though our opponent is on the play going to 4 mana, that usually means they're going to do us dirty somehow. Let's hope it's a Nullhide Ferox. That's something we can make tokens and chump for a while. Weird. I'll keep my hero then if they value the Paradise Druid that little, because I can kill the Paradise Druid now with the Oath of Kaya. And it looks like that's the way it's going to be. We could also play the Temple, not take the damage, scry, try to keep hitting those land drops like I said, ignore the Druid. That sounds bad. Let's not do that. This seems pretty good if they don't have any plays for 3 mana that are relevant to take away their ramp creature and force them to basically live out for a 4 mana turn again. I'm guessing this is a Collision Colossus? Oh. Well, there's 2 bipolar cards in the same deck. And now our opponent with no land. Despark. Whatever they have in that hand is expensive. Let's... but I want to hit my land drops. And this is very situational. But say they're a Wilderness Reclamation deck or Nissa. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. We get another look at the top 2 and possibly 3 next turn anyway. To try to hit that land for the Citadel. Citadel, Citadel. We have shocked ourselves down to 14. Just something to keep an eye on. Okay. A little surprised. I do not get what the deck is quite yet, but I guess I'll have to figure it out. Now I feel horrible about this Despark keep. Let's see what we can scry for now. The land is there. Let's put this on the battlefield. Next turn, probably entering the God Eternals on this Spellbreaker. Just to have our life total nice and high, and then we'll be ready to rock the Citadel.
You must be mad to tussle with me.
Sure.
Ooh, I revel in devastation.
Ow. Is there any reason not to fill my opponent's graveyard? I can't think of one. Tempting. Skargan Hellkite, Domri's Ambush, all the Gruul hits just, you know, just being weird with a Flame Sweep. Threw me off. Is what it is. Sometimes that's all they want to do. Confuse me. Hey, do you hear the crackle? Do you hear it? Now I've got to turn off the sound effects or I'll tilt. And the game without sound effects is naked. Sounds so naked to me. And now it's just you and me, viewers. You're alone with my voice. Not the way it was meant to be. So, opponent on the tank. Looking at this Domri up and down. Uh-huh. Have at it, boys. What you got? Your boys ain't doing much. They're being pretty lame, to be honest. They're just kind of sitting there. All right. So what do you think? Will the opponent Incubation Druid block this or let the Domri go? We could go for Citadel and try to have a big turn here. I think it's best to get the Thought Erasure cast, but I could be wrong. Citadel is basically a bottomless pit of opportunity, and it could absolutely swing this game if I find a removal spell for the Druid. Let's go for it. This is not a coward stream. Hero, down to 12. Oath. Down to 9, up to 12. Out of there. Basilica Bellhaunt, down to 8, up to 11. Like I said, Citadel, bottomless pit of opportunity. All right, Teferi, down to 8. I think 8's a pretty safe place to be. I think 7 is also pretty safe. So we should have full control mode there. We might have wanted to cast that. Ooh. Hit the opponent for 8 this turn. It doesn't matter if we're attacking this anyway, though. I think 7 is low enough. I think our board is wide enough. There's an insane world, though, where we kill our opponent this turn, and I would be doing all of you a disservice if I didn't try. So we'll amass onto this. The way to do that would be hitting another Enter the God Eternals, hitting my opponent for 12, and then using Citadel to deal 10. Here's my land. We hit another. Let's minus this. Do we want to bounce anything here? I guess I'll take back the Oath.
That's more like it.
We might want it next turn. There's a Guard Mage. We're getting really low. Down to 2. But there's the Enter the God Eternals. Oh, now it's in the hand. Almost, you guys. Almost got there. The opponent's going to scoop it up anyway. But you gotta love going for it. Going for it on 4th down. Gotta love the effort. 1 win from Mythic. I guess I would have ended it there, but perhaps we have to go for Mythic too. End boss. What up, Bowser? What up, Lizard? This hand is great. If our opponent's playing a creature deck, this is right where we want to be. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'd like to thank all of my subs. I'd like to thank all of my supporters, my followers. I'd like to thank my mom for giving birth to me and always supporting me in my pro gamer dreams. I'd like to thank my wife, who is probably wondering what the hell is happening right now in this very room. Oh my god. This is the most meaningful Mythic I've ever had. This is the hardest I've ever worked. I can't wait to post this. And I'll just have to package that into the outro. I'm sure somebody out there wants to see that rank. 851. Long way to go to 420 or 69, but the job is not over. 4, there's always going to be another mountain. You're always going to want to make it move. It's always going to be an uphill battle. Sometimes you have to lose. It ain't about how fast you get there or about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb! So, thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.